If you are thinking that you want to start a podcast, then this episode is for you. I'm going to be going through my top podcast tools for beginners, and I'm going to walk you through step by step everything you need to get started. I've been doing podcasting for 6 years, and I have seen it grow my business, and I'd love to help you grow yours through podcasting. So let's do it. My name is Michelle Gifford. I am a brand and marketing strategist, and I help you grow your business online, and podcasting is a great way to do that. So for this last 6 years, I have been podcasting. And one of my favorite things about podcasting is how personal podcasting is. If someone goes to a blog post and they're just reading my words, that's very different than showing up in their ear and they hear my intonation, my inflection and my laugh and all on double speed, right? And they can also take me with them. If they're in the car, if they're doing dishes, if they're folding laundry, they take me with them and I'm suddenly a part of their day. And that is why I love podcasting. It's because people are moving and they like to take the learning with them. And so podcasting has been really great for me to grow my community and to build deep relationships with people because I say, hey, I'm going to show up twice a week and I'm going to be there. And if you show up, you're going to learn a lot. And so I really love podcasting and I've seen it grow a lot of businesses. So it also gives you credibility and allows you to show your expertise. The statistic is that 51% of adults in the US are listening to podcasts. That's a big deal and it's only growing. And so now is a great time. You might feel like podcasting, it's saturated and everyone's doing it and there's not enough space for you, but that's just wrong. This is actually the beginning days of podcasting. So jump on board. It's actually a great place for you to be. So that's why I think you should start podcasting. And if you're here and you clicked on this and you're listening because you feel like you should do podcasting, you're like, I know I want to do that so bad. And I've been thinking about it for a long time. Then guess what? I want you to just take this as a sign that you're supposed to do it and to say yes. And I'm going to show you how. It's easier than you think. And we're just going to do it. So today I'm going to be going through the tools you need. And then in the next episode, we'll talk about how to actually set up your podcast. Like what should you talk about and everything like that, all my podcasting tips. But right now we're just talking about tools and you really only need 3 tools, 3 or 4. 3 or 4 tools, depending. You need a mic, you need a way to record and a way to edit. Sometimes that's 2 programs, sometimes that's only 1. And then you need a place to host. Okay. So that's all you need. So let's talk about a mic for a second. So I have this Yeti mic and I have been using this for 6 years. This is a mid-level mic. If I had more money when I started, I probably would have done a Rode mic. I love them. I like the sound of them and the quality is great. But here's the thing. My quality has been great with this mic. And I have the money that I could upgrade. I just haven't because it's been great enough for me. And it's okay if things are great enough for me. So this I think is like $130. You can get a snowball. It's a blue snowball and they're probably $60 range. I'll have links for these. Or Rode mics are more in like the $200, $300 range. So those are the different types of mics. I also know that people use, like sometimes they're just recording on their phone. You can totally do that. You can record your podcast on your phone. You could record like interviews on your phone through an app called a Ringer, Ringr. And it's amazing. But if you're using your phone, I would recommend that you use some sort of microphone, even if it's just like your AirPod, just because the sound is so much better when it's taken into an actual mic and not just your phone. So that is number 1. You need a mic. Okay. Don't stress out about this. Just say, you know what? I have $30, I have $50, I have $60, I have $300 to spend. As you can see, it is an investment that I've been using this mic for 6 years and I love it. So if you do have a little extra money, go for the Rode mic. That's awesome. Don't let the mic stop you from being a podcaster. Just get the mic that you can afford and let's do it. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a way to record and a way to edit. I've done this a couple different ways throughout the last 6 years. And I'm going to tell you the one that is the least expensive right now that I'm using. I am using Loom, loom.com. It is a way that you can record videos, you can record just audio, you can record your screen. And I am loving it because you can start for free. And it's just on my computer. It's an actual website. I can just go, I can get started and I'm ready to go. It's not anything else that I have to do. From there, I will download the video and upload that to Descript, Descript. This, I'm just going to tell you, is like the best way to edit your podcast, the best way. So you upload it and it automatically creates a script for you. So it transcribes everything in the podcast. Okay. It transcribes everything in like minutes. Once it's transcribed, what you're able to do is go through and edit it like a Word document. So if there's any words that you just don't want, you cut it out, you highlight and delete, and then it's gone. It takes it out of the audio. This is the best way to do for YouTube videos as well, because it will do the same. It'll just like take out that clip and then it's gone. You're also able to edit out filler words. So, all those words, and maybe that won't even make it to the podcast because it takes it out in Descript. But all the filler words, you can just turn on a setting and it just takes it out automatically. So this is a game changer. I think you can get started for free, or it's just not very much a month. Like, this is an insane thing, because then what you do is you can take your transcript and you can easily turn it into a blog post without much effort. And I'm all about that. And they just added, I'm all about Descript right now. They just added a way that you can make like some social cutouts. So you know how on podcasts, if you're doing a sharing, just like a clip of it, like a 30-second or 1-minute clip, you can do that in Descript, and it makes it very easy to do there. You just like clip it out and it makes it a social file. It's crazy and amazing and cheap. Like, this is where I would have started had it been around when I started, but this is what I would do. If you're an Apple user, you can use GarageBand to edit your files and stuff. But for me, I felt like GarageBand was super confusing. Like, gave me too many options in how to edit it. And so I just kind of shut down and I never learned it. It's actually a really great platform, but I didn't have the patience to learn it. And there's something easier out there. So I usually go with the easier thing, especially at the beginning when you have to do all of this by yourself, right? You have to edit it by yourself. You have to record it. You don't have any of that production team in the background. And so I say do it the easiest way, because if it's not easy, then you're probably not going to do it consistently. So that is what I would do. A way to edit and a way to record. You can record on Loom. You could just record any file, like on your computer. It has a way to record a file. I like Loom because I'm able to share it with my team. I now have a team who edits my content. Thank you for being here, my team. It helps me so much. But I didn't always have that, and I would have to edit my podcast. But having it on Loom, I can just record it and I can send it to my team, and then they can edit it with Descript and send it over to my blog writers, and they already have the transcript of the whole podcast, and it just makes it so easy. You can actually edit it in Loom as well, and it also does a transcription. I just have liked how Descript works better. And so I think Loom is free for up to so many recordings. And so you could just, use the free version. I've upgraded. I think it's worth it. I use it all the time on Loom. Okay. So that was the mic, a way to edit and a way to record. And then last is a place to host. Let me just explain this, because I think sometimes this is confusing. On a website, you have to have a host. You have to have a place somewhere that's like actually storing your files for your blog and stuff. That's the same thing for your podcast. You actually have to have somewhere that someone is hosting your files. I think hosting is about $150 a year or something like that. I use SoundCloud, and I've used them for 6 years. Another one is Libsyn and Anchor. Those are all credible ones. I've been happy with SoundCloud. I don't get too worked up about choosing the right one. I think there's a lot of good options, but if you're checking them out, check out SoundCloud, Libsyn, and Anchor, and see if there's one that stands out to you. So once you find a way to host it, okay, so you're going to sign up for one of those, then you're going to have to connect your host with an Apple podcast account. So you're going to create your RSS feed in your host, and then you're going to log into Apple Podcast Connect. You're going to maybe have to create an account, and then you enter your feed URL, and then you click submit. And then it takes a couple days for it to show up in Apple Podcast feed. And when you do like a host, you can have it automatically published on all the different types of platforms. Because, there's like Stitcher, there's Apple Podcasts, there's a bunch of different places that are podcast hubs. And so you can set it up so it just like releases to all of the different podcast hubs. So let's add this up. Okay. So you need a hosting. It's about $150. You need a mic, which could be about, let's say, $130. And then I gave you some editing software that could be a couple hundred a year. So for about $500, you could have your podcast up and going for the whole year. that's not a huge investment for your business. You could do it on the cheap. Totally. I, kind of gave you some other ways. You could do a mic that's less. You don't have to pay for Loom and Descript up front. So those kind of things you could do on the cheap, but $500 to start a podcast is not that much money, especially for your business. And so I definitely recommend that if you are here, you are listening, listen, podcasting is awesome, because think about this. I have years and years and years of podcasts, okay? And people go back and they start fresh, right? They find me and they go back and they start going through it. And so they're like invested in me by the end of listening to all my podcasts, because they've seen me through years and years and years. And so I really think that this is a great way to boost your business. If you are looking for ways to add credibility and to be the expert in whatever your niche is, then this is also, you can have podcast guests and you can just have a lot of fun and creativity in growing your business with podcasting. So tune in next time. I'm going to be sharing with you like how to format, structure your podcast so that it can be a success. But go get these tools. I have links, check them out, click on them and go just buy it right now. You're going to be happy, and we'll see you next time.